Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Youth VoteCast, our podcast here at the National Youth Foundation. And today we're going to talk about, in this episode, about the impact that the election, and especially French elections, have on the French people living abroad. Because here with me today, I have Nina, which is one of our French interns, and has experimented this voting in another country. So Nina, tell us some things about yourself.
So, hello everyone. My name is Nina. I'm 24 years old and I'm studying international relations in master degree. And I have my internship to end my studies here in Romania.
Nice. Cool. So, since you've been here,
2 months already.
2 months.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So, in this time of 2 months, have you like you've had the European elections and also like the elections for the parliament, I think, in France.
Legislative election. Yeah.
And have you seen like an impact on the French diaspora while living here on the topic of like elections?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think in the diaspora in general, not only in Romania, but because it's the first time in France we have the far right going so close to get executive power. So I think it really touched people living abroad, especially in the European Union, because it's their life and their job that could be threat if the far right is going to have executive power, because of course they have some anti-European ideas. So I think it was really like I don't know how to say in English, but a surprise and a shock for the diaspora. And I think they participate more in those elections than usual.
So you think also like there's like a shift in this like participatory of the diaspora also because of like the election results and
Yes,
some.
of course, because they live abroad, so they need international law and European Union to be also behind them, and it's their life and their work that could be changed. So I think they maybe realize how useful are their votes.
And is it like at television, for example, or in articles, do they talk about diaspora a lot, or is it just now?
No, not so much actually, because like the main focus is the far right accessing to power in media. So we haven't talked so much about the diaspora because it's like, even though there is more participation, it's more the same behavior that we can observe on the diaspora every election. Like they kind of vote always for the same party, so there was not a big change with that.
And is it your first time like living that many months abroad, or have you?
No, I lived 1 year in Latvia and 1 year in Serbia. So it's
okay. So you see so you have this experience. So have you seen like main differences in opinion of like French people living in France and French people living abroad about politics and elections? Like, is there like a different perspective?
Yeah, of course. Like, as I said, the far right is really like the most popular now in France for people that live in France, which is really not for people living abroad. Like, because of course they are living abroad, so maybe they are more open-minded, or like they are more like valued by the system of globalization, etc. So two different results.
Yeah. And have you like experienced maybe while living abroad yourself, but also like your friends? Maybe have you talked to the people in France about these topics, or not really? Or do you think like people living abroad can make a difference in France?
Yeah, I think they make a difference by their vote.
What measures do you think should be taken to enhance the involvement of French people living abroad in national electoral processes and policies? Like, do you think they should be more involved in this? Like, their opinion should matter most, or how is the system now?
For the diaspora living abroad, I think I was surprised, but it was quite simple. Like you can do everything online. So I gave my vote to my mom. So she went to vote for me, and was like just a form to fill online and go to the embassy and give it. But the main problem is the communication, because I learned this really late. I was happy that I had time to do it so I could give my vote, but there's really bad communication, and the website is hard to understand, so it can discourage people to do it actually. So I think they really should make more communication about how easy it is in. to vote.
And you said that in television and articles they don't really talk about like diaspora's like visions and stuff on politics. And do you think also like the politicians should maybe concentrate more on their opinions, or how do you see this?
I actually don't think so. I think, of course, diaspora voice and right matters, but as they don't live in the country, or if you live long time abroad, maybe you're not. The politics shouldn't focus on you, but maybe to the people that live daily and face daily difficulties in France. So yeah, I think they have the right attention from the media.
How do you think your experience of living abroad has influenced your perception of democracy and political involvement? You said that you lived in Serbia and Latvia, and now you're in Romania, so you have like a lot of different views, different point of views on democracy, basically, in political scene.
It really gave me a whole spectrum of views, so it really changed my point of view. I actually always been interested by politics. I was really like raised by doing protest and going in the street for my rights.
A true activist.
Yes. Yeah, my mom is an activist and my
nice.
grandma also, so I'm really used to politics. But I was more focusing myself on certain topic, and for me, for example, European Union was not in my thought at all because it's something I'm used to it. In France, it's normal to be part of European Union. We don't speak so much about it. But when I came, for example, to Latvia, I noticed how important it was for the people there that were like living under a threat and then like really value their appartenance to European Union. So Europe really like appeared me like something precious when I went there. But when I came to Serbia, it was something else because people have really different opinion in Europe, and so yes, it helped me to open my mind. I don't know
Yeah, to have a broader view of
yes, to have
topic.
many opinions. Yes, so I think I can understand maybe better like the foreign policy, especially.
So did you like get in talks with peers while you were living like in Latvia and Serbia about politics, and have you asked about their opinion?
Yes, a lot. I like to do that. Yes. But yeah, sometimes it's hard to communicate.
Yeah, of course, like sometimes it can be like a really fire debate, let's say, on this. But I think it's normal, like also when you're talking to your friends, like co-nationals, it can be debatable sometimes. And
also we are not living in the same reality. Also, it's like people from Serbia don't live like someone from European Union. They don't have the same law. They don't have like same income. So of course our opinion is different depending on what we live. So it's nice to see how we live the people.
And did you see like, especially in Serbia, did you see like an interest on what the European Union is doing, like from young people especially, because they're part of Erasmus, for example, which is like a European Union program, but they're not in the European Union. But like, how do you see the?
That was really paradoxal because they really like Serbian people are really open-minded. They want to travel. They want to make Erasmus. They are like really take every opportunity to travel and meet the maximum people. But their view, they don't want to be part in Europe. It's a paradox. I think they want to be part of the sociability from Europe, but politically it's not possible for them. So it was really interesting to speak to them.
So to see like this kind of like, okay, we want to like have this socially policies that you say from the European Union, but like maybe try to also like keep a bit of a distance. And in Latvia, you said that they really value the thing that they're part of the European Union, and I think that's the same here in Romania. I would say, maybe because we're kind of new. I mean, it's been some years, but still relatively new. We're one of the newest countries in the Union. So yeah, it's interesting to see that.
But does everyone in Romania values to be part of Europe?
Of course, there are Eurosceptics as everywhere in Europe, even in France or like the countries that founded the European Union, of course. But I think we value it really much.
Among the youth, it's like
I mean, especially the youth, I think, because it's really interesting to see the differences between the older generation, let's say, or not even like older, but the ones who got to live some of their lives before, like we got into the European Union. Because, for example, I was born in 2002, so Romania got the membership in 2007, so I was only 5. I didn't know what that is. But like my whole youth years, I lived while actually being conscious that we are part of the European Union. So that's, I think, now is this shift of thinking about European Union and how to we shouldn't take democracy for granted. And
but when you are part of it for a long time, you don't see it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You were born with it from the start. Yeah, and this is what our generation is. Basically, we're born with it, with being part of Europe and seeing all the benefits and stuff like that. Nice. Okay. Thank you for answering our questions today at the podcast. And thank you also to you for watching our podcast, and see you next time.
Bye.